Welcome back to more coverage from Comic-Con 2013 out here in San Diego. We were with Bill Miekina. Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing great. The show's been going great so far. The feedback has been really positive. So another successful Comic-Con.
How was your panel?
It was interesting.
Is that about how many words you got to use about that right there?
About that?
About that many? I'm just messing with you. Come on.
I'm used to it by now.
So the Miz was kind of hard on you, right?
Yeah, I think next year I'm going to have some Mitchell 316 shirts made up for 2014 Comic-Con panel.
That might be good. You'll just do the Mattel logo with Mitchell 316 on it?
And I'll sell them in the booth here and make myself a mint.
That would be good. You can put it on a figure too.
Yeah, we'll get them. We'll get the Mitchell Cam and Ringside exclusive.
Well, speaking of figures, I mean, I guess from what I've noticed from here, you guys have been changing out all of the figures every day. Like, you know, you might see the Hell in a Cell, you might see, something else over there, and then you see different figures popping up. And now, when we come over today and we see Elite 25, can you tell us a little bit about that? I mean, is it just a different marketing strategy for people to come back and keep coming to the booth?
The whole idea is to get people coming by the booth every day by having stuff new, either by swapping out the display case or delaying some of the reveals until Saturday. You know, we want to get people keep coming back, keep looking at the stuff again. It's always good to have a heavy traffic in this area in the booth, and so far it's worked. People are coming by, and the feedback again has been really phenomenal. So,
tell us a little bit about the biggest announcements you made with Elite 25. I mean, now you're displaying the actual figures here. You got Dean Ambrose. You've got the whole Shield actually right here.
Yeah, for Elite 25 is the first time that Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins will be available in Elite form. It also is the first ever, and we're very, very, very happy about this, the first ever Mattel Bruno Sammartino figure, complete with the Hall of Fame podium and Hall of Fame plaque. So that was real exciting when we were able to include him in the line.
Now, will there be a chaser figure that'll have real hair?
No.
I'm just asking.
Nope.
Can't afford that one.
Can't afford it, and I really
kind of creepy.
Like the glue just looks shiny and it looks a little so.
Well, let's get to the message board so we can ask you a couple questions from the message boards, and we'll come back and talk more figures.
Sure.
Now that RVD's been signed, how soon will we see an Elite RVD?
He's in the works. I mean, we got word about a few weeks ago that he'd be coming back to pay-per-view, and we started work on him. It's going to be a while because he's still being sculpted, being worked on. And it's not just something where we can just sculpt the head. There's a lot of new detail that goes on him. He's going to have a unique torso because his collar is cut higher up on his torso than like a Ryback one or any other torso we have. So it's going to be a little bit while longer, but when it does come out, the final result will be as accurate as we possibly can.
Do we have an idea of like a time frame of maybe when we can get him out?
It ain't going to be before 9 months. Okay. That's about the minimum at this point.
So we're looking at early 2014 possibly?
Mid-2014 at the earliest.
You did show some footage and some slides of a Wyatt family member.
Yes.
What about that? I mean, are we going to be seeing the whole Wyatt family soon? I mean, are you just working on Bray right now?
We got early images of Bray Wyatt to work from, so we were able to work ahead on him. We just got images of the other two members of the clan, so we're working on them. Again, it's a situation where it'll be mid-2014 at the earliest that we can get them in. We work as fast as we can to get new guys in the line. WWE has been very good about getting us information earlier on people, but there still is sculpting time and molding time. We have to develop all this stuff, so it isn't like a lightning press process as fast as we'd want it to be.
Right.
That's never going to change, but the end result is we're able to get the figures out. When they do come out, they're as accurate as we possibly can because we have time to develop new molds. For I guess the Eric Rowan, the real tall guy, that guy's almost all new molding. It's going to take a while to develop that, but when it comes out, it's going to look, exactly like he looks on TV.
Now, tell us, because there was something else that was debuted there, and it's really hit the message boards just from the panel part of the video being up, is DX. I mean, we have seen Shawn Michaels, we've seen Triple H, we now see Billy Gunn, I think, as a flashback, is that correct? And a Road Dogg. Yeah. And it's kind of like when they were doing the war on WCW, it's like that kind of throwback to the DX. The only person that's missing now, that's X-Pac. What about him?
Oh, he's coming. We're definitely going to do an X-Pac. We just got the rights to him, and he will be included in the line. He's not penciled in just yet right now because we have some other flashbacks we need to get to before then that we've had some work done on. So, but there definitely will be an X-Pac figure, and it'll fit in with all the others perfectly.
Now, with an X-Pac DX, will you go back and do maybe a 1, 2, 3 kit as a flashback too, or is that something that you all have talked about?
It's possible. I mean, now that we have him, we want to do the X-Pac first. We think that's the gimmick that'll, be the most appealing to the mass market consumer.
Okay.
And then if it does well, of course we consider, 1, 2, 3 Kid, maybe it's a Ringside exclusive. Who knows?
What about Scott Hall, guys like that, Jake Roberts? I mean, are we going to see some more figures of them in the future?
Right now, we're not doing any signing any talent to Mattel deals exclusively. We're working through the existing deals we have, and also through WWE. So, like, Scott Hall's not on a Mattel deal, and he's not on a WWE deal, so he's no go right now. Jake is on I think he's still on a Legends deal, but we've done some. We did some Jake in the past, and if we're going to do more flashbacks, we want to get to other guys that haven't had a representation as a flashback yet.
Okay. Now, on the flashbacks, speaking of that, will we ever see those move to the basic line at all?
Not as like something to call out, but we've had basic waves where there's been guys that are not on the present roster, like on our World Champions, Blade 29, Ultimate Warrior, Eddie Guerrero were there. We've had a Royal Rumble wave with Bret Hart. WrestleMania Heritage wave. We have a WrestleMania Heritage wave that's going to have two people in the lineup that aren't on the present roster. So, and I think they're both one of them is a debut as a basic figure.
Okay. And can you tell us who that is?
No.
Oh, come on. One hint, one exclusive hint.
Can't give away the story.
Come on, it's Comic-Con. You got to give one out to somebody.
We might be able to show it at Ringside Fest, so I'll give you that much as a.
All right. Now, I know that you're on the message boards, and probably a lot of fans do out there. You're like on it all the time, trying to get feedback, trying to give your feedback. How is that for you?
I've been really happy with the feedback I've gotten on the reveals since the panel. I went on that night and just read a lot of it, and I was blown away by how much people like the stuff, and it's really gratifying to know that people like it as much as I enjoy working on it. I'm a collector myself. I want to make stuff that I would want for myself and put in my collections. I'm always trying to make the best stuff possible, and just it's really it's great that people seem to like the stuff as much as they do and are buying it at a really good rate. So, thanks everyone for the really nice words about what we've shown so far.
Well, with you being on the message boards, I'm gonna give you a list of names.
Sure.
People want to know if these figures are coming out. Can you tell us yes or no? Or whatever, how you like to answer it. I'm going to give you a whole list.
Okay.
Boogeyman, Umaga, Ric Flair, Goldberg, Mike Tyson, Steiner Brothers, Rick and Scott, Paul Bearer, Harley Race, Natural Disasters.
One of those is confirmed and will be coming out.
Okay, so that's one, or is there like a tag team that could be considered as one?
One of those is confirmed.
All right.
I need more and I get fired, so I don't want to get fired.
One of the other questions was, will we ever see a shopping cart accessory?
It's possible. It's not high on our to-do list right now, just because to do that properly, it'd be a big tool, and we prefer to spend our tooling money in other
clothing.
On molds, like head molds, accessory molds, something like that. It's a big mold. Big molds cost a lot. I'd rather use that money on heads.
Is there any availability on a new Elite scale ring?
No, I would not look for another Elite scale ring. It did not do well at retail, and I love the Elite scale ring. I wish we could do more with it, but it did not sell well at all, and we should not be, the main retail for an Elite scale ring should not be Big Lots, and that's what it ended up being, so.
Okay. Well, how about this? Is it possible for a future CM Punk figure to have a hoodie?
It's possible. It's going to be tough because just getting an Elite CM Punk is a very expensive figure to produce with no accessories, just due to the amount of artwork and tattoo and the amount of artwork on his boots and trunks. If we did one, we'd probably have to go real skimpy on the boot deco and the tight deco, and I'm not sure if that's what we want to do in Elite. Elite, we usually try to get the more colorful outfits and then use the more simple ones in basic. It's not out of the question, but it's not likely just because production costs on something like that would be. We'd have to find ways to balance it out. I know with the Brodus Clay, we were able to include cloth on him, but it's sort of balanced out by some of the production costs on other figures in the wave being lower. But you can't always count on that happening, and you have to plan for them all to be equal production.
Now, one of the other questions that was on here is, since flashbacks are so popular, will we see them in their own line maybe? Kind of like a throwback to what a previous company did?
Not right now. They're working really well for us as, a subset of Elites, and I think we're going to keep it that way for now. We might experiment more with like what we're doing with Elite 23. Like there might be waves where we have more just if it makes sense to do. But as of right now, it works really well the way it's working now, and we don't really want to screw that up.
Will we see a Stephanie or Shane McMahon figure in the future?
Shane probably not. He's not involved with the company. So Stephanie's back on TV. It's we could probably get started on her if we get reference on her, but I know she's very busy at the TV taping, so it might be hard to get reference on her. As soon as we get good stuff, we and the Go Gay from WWE will probably get to work on her, but it's just a matter of getting the stuff we need to start work on it.
What about a commentator, Jerry Lawler? Since he doesn't wear the outfit at the ringside, he just wears like the King shirt and stuff like that. What about seeing a commentator, Jerry Lawler?
That one's actually pretty likely. I think we might have a slot opening up somewhere for that one.
Will we see an Elite Warrior, Bret Hart, in the plans for the future?
Yes.
Okay. Will we get CM Punk in pink attire?
Probably not. He's worn it twice, and he hasn't worn it in a year. So I don't know. I try to make the attire choices as current as possible. I mean, I'm a Chicago fan. I'm a Blackhawks fan, and I love the outfit he wore at Payback, but he wore it once. He hasn't worn it again.
Well, here's a question for you. Curtis Axel has made his debut not too long ago. Made a huge impact coming back into WWE, being managed by Paul Heyman. Will we see a 2-pack maybe in the future of a Mr. Perfect and Curtis Axel together?
Not in the near future, because we have the 2-pack of Curtis Axel and Triple H.
Okay.
So that one's probably not going to happen anytime soon.
Okay. Any more WCW flashbacks?
I'm sure there will be. I think it's just picking out who would be like a big enough name to put in there at this point that we haven't done. If we ever get the rights to Flair, of course we'll put Flair in as soon as we possibly can. If we ever get Sting or Goldberg, as soon as we get those people, they'll be in like immediately. So it's just a matter of getting them.
Now there's a chase the belt, like you all had kind of like a chase the belt. It's like a 1 of 1,000 kind of thing. Will you go back to having that again? I mean, I know you got the Build-A-Figure kind of situation, but will you have the belts that you can go back and do that with?
I don't think we're going to do like a chase the belt thing. That was more for launch,
right, and
the launch, to celebrate the launch year. So there'd really have to be a reason to do it, and there really isn't a compelling reason to do it right now. I mean, our sales are really, really strong, and that's the sort of thing you do when you need like a little extra kick in the pants, and we have enough demand on these figures as it is that something like a little a bonus isn't needed. Our sales are really, really well. So that's a thank you to everyone out there who's buying our figures. So.
And the last question, just real quick, changes in packaging are coming in 2014. Mm-hmm. One of the problems that a lot of people that have suggested or have made reference to on the Wrestling Fix boards is it's really easy to steal belts out of them. So I guess people are going looking for a figure with a certain belt and it was easy. Will that change with the packaging coming up?
I don't know. I'm not really directly involved in packaging. I've made suggestions, but ultimately that's their call to make. I don't want to. They don't mess with what I do, so I don't mess with what they do.
Well, I appreciate your taking the time to walk through everything with us. It's always good to see you. You're doing a hell of a job from the collector standpoint and from the fans out there. And we'll be back with more coverage from Comic-Con 2013 here in San Diego, California.